What is going on, Detroit Lions fans? Welcome back. Detroit Den 313 with Steve. Little Friday night special for you guys. Real quick, shout out to my guy, Will, man. He put out what I think was his best solo show earlier today. Hats off. Phenomenal. A+. Excellent breakdown of what this team could look like with Za'darius Smith. I'm going to tag that one at the end of this. You have to ask yourself what you're doing after this. And if you can spare another roughly 16 minutes, I believe, got to check that one out. It was a banger. Video clips, breaking down some film, breaking down some possibilities. A+ episode. Hats off, Will. I'm going to keep the train rolling with Za'darius Smith, okay? We finally got our first look at him today as Detroit Lions fans, something we've been waiting for all season, especially after Hutch got injured. We knew we needed to go out and get someone. Za'darius Smith finally arrived today to Lions training camp for some practice. I'm going to tell you guys, I think I got a new favorite player, and he hasn't even played a single down for the Detroit Lions. I love his energy. You could just tell on his face he's excited to be here. He wants to be a Detroit Lion. He addressed some stuff. After the trade, he had tweeted out, I don't know if it was on his Instagram story or his Twitter account. He tweeted out or put out into the world, SMH. Kind of got some Lions fans wondering, he was asked about that, and he said, man, that trade was just taking too damn long. You could tell this guy wanted to be on a winning team, okay? I don't think he had any beef with Cleveland or how he was handled there, or I don't think he was mistreated or anything like that. I think he just wants to be a part of winning football. And it's crazy to think that that's the Detroit Lions now. This is where players want to come. Isn't that just absolutely wild? Because it's just not too far gone from the days of having to overpay for some free agents to come here and getting stuck with bad salaries. Now we have a GM and a head coach that are fully capable of acquiring talent, building a culture, and making this a place where people want to come because it's a winning organization. I know it's still new. I know it's only been a few years of success, but you can just see this is the place people talk about, man, if I want to go chase a ring, if I want to go win some football games, Detroit is one of those places where players want to come now. So his energy, he addressed that, man. I'm glad he did, and it makes sense because I love just watching his press conferences. It's just like, man, I got to get this guy on a football field. My question is, will we see him Sunday against the Houston Texans? Do we need him Sunday against the Houston Texans? Dan Campbell has came out and said, and he's even listed on the injury report as questionable, and that's really just coming down to Za'Darius's familiarity with the playbook. He kind of hinted at, they want him to get more comfortable with the playbook and the blitz packages and all that stuff, and how far he can come within the next really day and a half. I'm not sure. I personally, so here's what I think is going to happen Sunday. I think we will see Za'Darius Smith. I think it will be very, very limited. I think it will be on known pass rush situations where, hey, Aaron Glenn's got him on the sideline. Hey, man, we got a 3rd and 11 here. This is what I want you to do. I think we'll have him available. I think he'll get in the game. I don't think we'll see a crazy amount of reps. If I had to put a number on it, maybe 15 reps. Okay, let's kind of ease him in. And I get it. This is a big game. I don't want to tip too much, and there's a lot of things I could say and go with this, but I don't want to spoil our game day episode that I'm going to try to get with Will tomorrow night, and we'll get that one out for you guys. Now, the other question is, do we need him for Sunday? Well, it's hard for me to say, yeah, man, we absolutely need Za'Darius Smith. We can't win this game without him. We're doomed if he doesn't play. We're not. We're 3-0 without Aiden Hutchinson. We have the best defensive coordinator in the NFL. We have 2 of the best safeties in the NFL. We have a great secondary. We have an unstoppable offense. Houston's banged up. Not sure exactly what's going on there with some of their players. So do we need Za'Darius Smith Sunday? No. He's a luxury. He's someone I'd actually like to see him take the field for the first time on Ford Field against Jacksonville the following week. That's what I would probably prefer. But again, I do think he's kind of just being eased into the system. And Dan Campbell said that, he let him report late, being today Friday, because the Browns were supposed to be on a bye week. So, we don't want to screw him out of his time off. And it's the NFL. Bumps and bruises happen. And we don't know exactly what he's nursing or, just some minor stuff. So I think Dan was just giving him some rest days, and maybe he was studying the playbook the day he got traded. I would imagine they got these iPads now. They can just send you stuff instantly, and boom, there you go. You got the playbook. So that's kind of wild. So do we need Za'Darius Smith Sunday? No. Do I expect he'll play a little bit? Yes. I think we're going to be okay, guys. I'm just excited to see this dude play football, man. I really am trying to think like who energetically matches him on this team. And the only player that I can really kind of think of is maybe I see some stuff with Kirby Joseph doing some stuff, some clowning around in the locker room, Terrion Arnold, these young guys, and then you get the old man in the room, Za'darius Smith, and he's just full of energy too. So this atmosphere that these players are playing in seems like a fun culture, a winning culture, but that comes with standards. All right, you still got to show up and play football games. It's not just all fun. We got to go out there and execute as well, and we're doing that. We're checking all of those boxes. So I've also seen some stuff that people are kind of like, and I've done this in the past, but we can't compare every trade or every acquisition that the Detroit Lions make as the Rasheed Wallace. Like, I would love for Za'Darius Smith to be the Rasheed Wallace of this team, similar to the 2004 Pistons, if you're familiar with that. Let's win a championship first, okay, before we start throwing that out there. And I get it. It's fun to think about. It's a great comparison. It's a player that put the Detroit Pistons over the edge 20 years ago. That's what we're hoping Za'Darius Smith becomes, but let's just kind of let him be Za'Darius Smith. We don't need him to be a leader on this team yet. We have plenty of leaders, okay? We have Jared Goff, Penei Sewell, Alex Anzalone, Hutchinson when he's healthy. But I will tell you this. I truly, truly am very, very excited for the future with Za'Darius Smith and Aiden Hutchinson. I think that is a duo that for at least next season is going to wreck the NFL. Okay. I love this combination. And here's my only question, my only concern. All right. I'm just being honest with you guys. I'm not going to, bullshit. I have a slight concern with Za'Darius Smith in his role coming from Cleveland, where he had Myles Garrett on the other side. Now he's coming to Detroit. He has to be the guy when it comes to pass rush, okay? I'm not saying we don't have some other dudes who can get after the quarterback. Again, if you guys watched Will's episode today, it talks a lot more about that. But we traded for him after Aiden Hutchinson got hurt with the expectation that he's going to be the premier pass rusher. Coming from Cleveland, where he has one of the best defensive ends probably of our generation, I'll say, in Myles Garrett, he didn't have to be the guy there. And I've said this comparison before. He got to be Robin in Cleveland. You come into Detroit, now you have to be Batman. You have to be the big dog, okay? And I get it. I'm not trying to put any pressure on him or anything like that, but I'm just wondering, how's that transition going to be? He's a professional. I understand his mindset, and it's not going to change. He's got a great athletic ability. Again, watch Will's episode. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. He's got the clips. He can show you guys a lot of stuff. I just have a little, it's a little easier to get after the passer when a lot of teams are focused on Myles Garrett. So that's why I say in the future, Aiden Hutchinson, that's a face you got to put up if you're an offensive coordinator in your meetings and say, this is a guy you got to prepare for. And then on the other side, you got Za'Darius Smith. So I'm not concerned. I'm not worried. I just want to see how he transitions into a bigger role, if that makes sense. So guys, I wanted to say this at the end of the episode. I didn't want to start it out with that. Please, please, please hit that subscribe button. I don't ask often. I don't ask hardly at all. But I'm telling you, find me another Detroit Lions podcast that covers post-game shows, pre-game shows, trade talks, everything, giveaways. I just sent out an Amon-Ra St. Brown jersey today. We do giveaways here. I got a couple more stuff. Let me pull some stuff over here for you real quick. Stick with me. I got Calvin Johnson bobblehead. We got Brad Holmes bobblehead. Those go to people who show us support. All right. We try to give back as best we can. It's got to thank my wife. She's usually the ones who gets her hands on these things. We want to do more giveaways. We have to grow this channel a little bit more. All right. I saved it for the end of this episode for the people who stuck around and watched to the end. Think about it. It's just clicking a button, guys. Stick around, leave some comments. I'll be back later with another show. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your